Peace and divine blessings. I am the Fifth Force Oracle, and I am here to share the Cosmic Oracle reading of evolution for our beautiful community, our beautiful mimic tribe. It's definitely an honor, as always, to show up in my frequency or show up in the frequency of my cosmic reflection and share these collective readings alongside High Priestess M.I.M.E.C and Brother Aqil here on Aligning with the Cycles. And also, I will be posting this on my YouTube page as well. And so I'm thankful to be able to share this oracle reading for those that may be tapping in through YouTube as well. Also, I want to give my love and gratitude again to you, High Priestess Mayat, Nab Taharka, Baba Wanik, as well as the priesthood for setting the stage and bringing the gems of this Olmec Cosmology. I definitely appreciate the continuous opportunity for me to personally grow and evolve as well as create to serve the divine mission that we all are cultivating together. So, Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo to that. I'm definitely thankful to be here in the space. And so, let's go ahead and prepare ourselves for the cosmic oracle reading of evolution by attuning ourselves to the mindset of a synchronized. And so, with that, there are 3 sacred steps to awakening this mindset. The first part is embodying our divine synergy. So that's recognizing the fact that we are multidimensional beings and really being the living expression of that. And we get to use the Destiny Oracle that I'll be sharing the Oracle reading about to help us to lock in this mindset. And so the second step of this, about us embodying that synergy, as well as connecting with the kin of the plasma, it assists us in remembering our divine, remembering our divine purpose as well. And that's like just being um, aware of the fact of like that inner knowing of why we are here and allowing that remembrance to shape our actions and how we express ourselves so that we can fulfill our soul's mission. Stepping into the role of co-creator mode and really weaving, or I'll say weaving our personal evolution to a greater collective transformation. And so with that, I do want to say that, we are each living expressions of divine or cosmic synergy. And so I would love for you to join me in affirming your personal galactic signature affirmation with me as I say mine. And so the way that this will go is we're going to say as a living expression of, and then we're going to say our kin number and then say our affirmation. And so this will allow us to tap into our creative frequency and unify that in resonance and, that collective harmony within ourselves and with each other. So, yes, join me in saying our affirmation. So, as a living expression of Kin 181, I dedicate my heart in order to nurture my and our spirits by universalizing being. I seal the input of birth with the crystal tone of cooperation. I am guided by the power of space. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about where these oracle readings are coming from. It's based on the law of times. based on the Law of Time Oracle Board, which is also known as the Destiny Kin Oracle Board. And it provides us with the fifth dimensional template for all of the Destiny Oracles for each of the 20 archetypes. It serves as like a tool to, it's like a meditative tool that helps us navigate through our evolution. It also is like a compass that helps us to keep our flow going, in that cosmic or that divine synergy. And it helps us to align with the natural cycles, so that we can navigate on our soul's evolutionary journey. And so each archetype acts like a mentor. I love how our brother Aqil shared that wisdom with us. He said that each of the archetypes act like a mentor for us, as a guiding counsel. And so it offers divine insights to us as we meditate on them. It helps us to evolve beyond ego into our heart-centered knowing, so that we can support our soul's purpose, um, go through the process of that remembrance, as well as fulfill our soul's mission. And so uh, each of the 20 archetypes are here on the Destiny Oracle. So what we're looking at now is where the kin of this plasma's archetype is on the Destiny Oracle. So we are on kin 235, which is known as the blue magnetic eagle, and it sits right here in the bottom, on the bottom left of the Destiny Oracle. And so on here, what you will see is that on the left, that is the basic template for all of the blue eagles. So all of the blue eagles will have a red serpent in the mental body. On the left, the white world bridger in the emotional body down below. And then on the right side, the yellow seed in the physical body can on the right. And in the center, that is where you'll find the archetype that's holding the focus, or the soul body in the center. And so um, although each of the archetypes will have, these four, excuse me, I'll say this. Each of the blue eagle archetypes, they each vibrate at one of the 13 galactic tones. And so the galactic tone will be what will determine what the archetype is that sits in the spirit guide position, which will be in the above position. And so that's why when you're looking at the oracle board, those boxes are blank. And so even though there would be that difference there, the archetype that will sit in the spirit guide position will always be of the same tone of the soul kin, and also the same color of the kin as well. So, that's some things that can help you with identifying what the spirit guide would be, as well as by reading the affirmation of the archetype. That'll tell you what the spirit guide is as well. And so when it comes to talking in more detail about the different archetypes, or the different positions that the archetypes can sit in the Destiny Oracle, I'll share more details about that later during the Oracle reading. And so with that, let's go ahead and move forward to the next. And so this right here, we're going to jump right on into it to set the stage of really understanding and getting to know what the blue magnetic eagle is all about. And so kin 235 is the kin that begins a whole new wave spell. And this is known as the blue eagle wave spell, where the power of vision helps us to create the mindset, or to get into the mindset to know what we are here to accomplish, to know how to move beyond being in that healing stage into a state of wholeness. And so when we look at the breakdown for the galactic signature, or the archetype's name, or excuse me, the galactic signature name, it will also help us to understand how this energy is showing up within the wave spell. And so the blue is in reference to the color tone. So all of the blue kin, their energy focuses on transformation. And it's transformation through having patience and transforming the way that we conduct ourselves. And so when we jump down to the solar seal and the archetype name, excuse me, the archetype name for the blue eagle is known as the seer. So this is the creative power of vision that creates the mindset, or that creates the mind, the mental aspects. And so the blue kin, they deal a lot with transforming things through like mental connections, or through the mind. And so then when it comes to the galactic tone, that is like the vibrational frequency, when the energy starts to move, get into that motion. And so for the blue eagle that we're on today, it carries the magnetic tone, or the magnetic vibration of unifying purpose and attracting. And so when we look at the affirmation for the blue magnetic eagle, the one that I have here includes where it is positioned within the wave spell it's in, as well as like what's the goal and all of that. And so it states, I unify my vision in order to create my accomplishment by attracting my mindset. I seal my expressed outcome, excuse me, I seal my expressed outcome of vision with the magnetic tone of purpose. I am guided by my own power of vision doubled. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe, y'all. And so as I was meditating on the kin, preparing for, how I wanted to hold the focus for us today, or to guide us in this oracle reading, a couple of things had stood out for me in reading the affirmation. So the first line was, I unify my vision in order to create my accomplishment. And so what had came to mind for me was that in order for us to accomplish any goal that we have in our hearts, we need to enter a creative mindset and a creative state of being, so that our ideas can actually take form. And so when we trust our instincts, we allow our vision to naturally come together. And this will guide us towards the outcome that we're aiming for, having that eagle eye vision. And so the key, um, the key to clearing our mind and having a clear vision, as well as having the knowledge to accomplish it, is done through practicing self-compassion and having patience with ourselves through the process of, going through creating our vision, taking it from something intangible, like in our minds, into a physical form that others can see, experience, and things like that. And so the other thing that had came to mind was the line where it says, I seal the output of vision with the magnetic tone of purpose. And so what came to mind for me in that is that as we envision, embody, and express the outcome that we see from our vision, the purpose becomes even clearer. And that is what begins to magnetize it in the physical form, the expression of it. So it happens both within us and in the world around us. So the more that we know and understand our purpose, the more we naturally find ourselves to be committed to expressing our vision with intention and being consistent through our actions. And so, in a nutshell, I do like to come up with like a one-line statement to hold the focus for us. And so, what I have here says, I am attracting my creative mindset to endure accomplishing my vision. Okay, so we can read it two more times. I am attracting my creative mindset to endure accomplishing my visions. I am, you are, we are attracting our creative mindset to endure accomplishing our vision. And so some additional questions that had came to mind, I tried to include, or I included different questions that, we may be, well, I know that we may be in different stages of, you know, creating the vision and everything in our minds. And so these three questions I feel like can help us no matter where we are in our process. And so the first question is, what is my vision? First and foremost, we got to know what our vision is. Secondly, what purpose does my vision serve? And third, how can I attract the mindset to accomplish the purpose of my vision? And so, Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe I feel like that last question sums up the whole focus for us. And so, as we continue into the oracle reading, I want you to really think about what stood out for you, as we read the affirmation, as we talked about the archetypes in the oracle, as we even think about these questions that's coming up for us. You know, the Destiny Oracle will help us to pull in those insights and that clarity. And so, um, there are a couple of ways that we can connect and engage with the Destiny Oracle. There is like a template or a foundational way of doing it. However, I've came to recognize from my own experience that there are different ways to look at it. And so, for example, if you are a inside out type of person, like you look within yourself first, the way that and that's my favorite way of doing it, to be honest. I look at the center, like I look at the three archetypes in the center: the soul, kin, the spirit guide, and the emotional body, because those three act as the well, actually, I'm gonna save that until I talk about each of the archetypes. However, if you work from the outside in, you may want to start with the physical kin body or the mental body, because, from either direction that we connect with, it's still going to bring us to the same outcome. So just trust your instincts and listen to yourself, whether it's calling for you to connect physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or in your heart, in that soul area. Honor that flow and really tap in. And so let me go ahead and jump into this oracle reading. And so the central frequency that we're focusing on is unifying the purpose of our vision so that we can attract the mindset. That is the kin focus in the center, the unifying purpose to attract, that relates to the magnetic tone. So all of the four kin in the top half, they all share that magnetic tone. So based on the kins in the center, that is our main focus. We want to focus on creating the vision and attracting that mindset. And so, as I've mentioned, my favorite way of looking at it is to start with the spirit guide and the emotional body. So I will do so. So I then would encourage us to look at the spirit guide, because that is like the compass that's giving us the direction to go towards with this focus. So we're being guided towards creating the vision, getting into the mindset. So I'll say again, the focus is to attract the mindset, to get into the mindset and directed towards creating the vision that we see ourselves evolving into, throughout this wave spell. And so going down to the emotional body, the emotional body is known as the hidden power. And it reminds me of like the fuel, like the gas in the car that gets us moving. Just like when we were talking about being a synchronaut, when we're traveling to another place, we got to make sure we have some gas in the car. We want to know where we're going. We might want to, set our GPS. But, we definitely want to be focused and make sure that we have some gas. And so that's how I look at the emotional body, because the emotional body is what's going to take us forward with our intentions and really helps us to practice that emotional intelligence to see how is guiding us to take or to make our evolution. And so in the emotional body, we have the white cosmic world bridger. And this energy or this kin focuses on equalizing death to transcend opportunities. So that equalizing death is to recognize what can be let go so that the new opportunities can come in. What cycles we have to let go of, or what patterns we want to let go of as well, so that we gotta. It's basically we're making new space. We're making space for the new opportunities to come in, and so I wanted to start right there, because as I was meditating on this, I had like this really profound insight about how to talk about the physical body and the mental body. So the physical body is on the right, where we have the yellow magnetic seed, and the mental body is on the left, where we have the red magnetic serpent. And so here's the backstory. So as I was, putting this all together, I had noticed that um, the yellow magnetic seed is kin 144. And that is the kin that starts off the wave spell that has the future portals in it. So if you've been around for a while and you know about the past and the future portals, you can see some connections with that kin 144. Now let's flip to the mental body. We also have the red magnetic serpent, which is the wave spell that contains the past portals. So I was like, whoa, my mind was like really blown, because the eagle that we're focusing on today is really showing us how to bring that equality to the past experiences that we had to overcome, so that we can bloom and take flight and flower or plant the seeds for um, the vision that we have for the future. So I find it so divine, and I had a example that we could use. So, like, for example, say that you want to focus on developing more confidence. So one thing that you can do with this Destiny Oracle is you can look at an experience that you overcame with that mental strength, and something in the past that you overcame by having that mental strength, and then look at what experiences you've created for yourself here right now. How have you how have you grown since then? You know what I'm saying? To be who you are and where you are now. And so that's one way to like build up the confidence aspect of it. And then like when it comes to getting into the mindset of looking at what you what vision you are seeking to accomplish, we could use the same thing. You could look at your present, like right here and right now, as the past. And, what extra stuff, like what type of things do you want to change and to evolve? How do you really see yourself living in this world? What type of experiences do you want to have? And so this leads us into talking about the mental body, because this is the energy or the kin that is showing us how to thrive in our life force. And that means, being this divine embodiment, it's the force of life. That's what's animating us. So when we trust our instincts to know what that looks like, that's what's going to help us to overcome those different challenges. You know what I'm saying? So the whole point is to thrive. And so when we look at the past, or, the things that we want to leave in the past, trust your instincts to guide you through strengthening your mind and overcoming those different obstacles. And so last but not least, the physical body. This is the blooming aspect of it. So it's like, okay, so what do you want the future to look like? What is the goal? What is the target? And by you even asking that question, you are now allowing yourself to attract the awareness of, what route to take. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want to create and what route to take in creating it? And so, yeah, it's really profound, because just consider what you are feeling called in your spirit to let go of or to surrender, what thoughts and feelings, and then use your own power as a creative being to create this new vision or this new lifestyle or whatever it is that you want to give birth to. And so with that basically concludes the oracle reading. One thing I will say is that, when you really synchronize all of the insights together from connecting and meditating with each of the kin, you will notice how much definition it brings to your vision, brings to you embodying the life force to get moving, to actually give birth to the vision um, that you have created. You know what I'm saying? So um, trust your instincts, trust and attract the timelessness of your spirit, of your essence, to create, to be a co-creator, and go ahead and carry out your vision. And so with that, much love and gratitude to all of you. Definitely enjoyed sharing this oracle reading for us on this plasma. And so, yeah, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, you want to book a reading or anything like that, or anything you may need. Feel free to reach out. And so I love y'all. In Lakesh, Allah Ken. May that you enjoy your creation in every single moment of now. I am signing out, and I shall talk to y'all on a future session. Stay peace. Mwah.